NFL record for the worst completion percentage.
This is a game you need to win.
This is a divisional matchup against a team you should beat. This is how you stack up wins. Hello and welcome back to episode 68 of i75Live. Before we start today's episode, just wanted to say appreciate all the likes, comments. We had a lot of comments across all of our platforms of all that we on Eagles fans, on the Bears, some Packers fans were trolling you.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people I think kind of agreed with me on, hey, Justin Jefferson to the Patriots would be kind of crazy. Some people were saying, why spend so much money? So I see both sides of it. It was just kind of a funny, like, hey, that'd be pretty freaking cool if we had one of the best receivers in the league with an upcoming, really good quarterback in Drake May. But no, yeah, it was funny reading some of your stuff. I also think you guys so unoriginal comments about our Eagles video.
Same comment.
Just the same comment. Like, come up with something better.
You think they would have said that if you weren't
no
a
one
Patriot
responded,
fan?
really.
I don't know. That's a good question. Do you think if I was not wearing a Patriot sweatshirt in that clip that they... No, probably not.
No, they probably would have just gone for a personal attack.
But even that, though, I think, no one watches the full thing, but I said of how they act.
Yeah, they're
not
acting very
spoiled as in winning and Super Bowls. Of course, I have no room to talk. I understand that. But spoiled, rotten little brats of what you guys have had and how you guys just talk about your team. Yeah. I would have never done that with Tom Brady or Bill Belichick or any of those guys during.
You would have thought that the Eagles have been going through a decade worth of just bad memories the way they act, but
I agree.
They're 3 weeks in a row of bad memories, so maybe they have a point.
Speaking of bad memories, did you hear they're talking about the Falcon fans? They're like, what kind of Falcon fans are we breeding right now? They've got 8 years of no playoffs.
They
said that's like kids in middle school.
No, you're not.
Like
I was at the Falcons game on Sunday. Fans. They showed up. It was half empty when I got there. It got to about 3/4 full in the second quarter, and it was back to being empty in the third. Atlanta fans suck. They're for the most part, they don't like the Falcons. And I can't blame them. They're not giving them anything to root for, really.
They haven't been in the playoffs since a kid that would be in high school right now or out of high school was in 5th grade.
And
same for the Bears.
You've got a lot of stars on that team, too. It comes to the offense and when it comes... So they got a lot of talent. They're wasting some talent.
Raheem Morris, so nobody's getting fired.
We got to find a way. Before we get into the rest of today's episode, I will let Dylan take over our sponsor.
Yes. So before we get into the sponsor, make sure you guys leave a like, drop some comments. They were great last week. And follow our social media pages. That is where we post all of our short-clipped content. And subscribe to the channel, most importantly, because we appreciate all of the support. And next episode is episode 69. So make sure you tune in for that. But this episode is sponsored by CutBet. CutBet is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that allows its users to wager directly with other users on any public result in sports, entertainment, politics, and more. Hopefully you bet on where Lane Kiffin was going to end up because you would have cashed in big. But sign up today using code i75Live and stay tuned later in the show for our cut bet of the week. So remember what I was saying about our cut bet last week? How they might put up 50 just to spite us?
And they did.
Put up 50.
In the snow.
Yeah.
In the cold weather.
More on that later, though, because congrats, Shedeur, for
he had
giving Kevin Stefanski the finger.
He had a pretty good game.
Him still taking you out.
Before we get into the NFL, though, we obviously the college football play conference championship, that was all last week, and everyone's talking about it. Mm-hmm. I think where we could start with it is... the Ohio State-Indiana game was great. I think it was a lot more competitive than people...
It was awesome.
I didn't think it was going to be as competitive as it was. I didn't think Indiana was going to win either.
I should have stuck to my guns. I was so close to picking Indiana last week, and I didn't. I folded.
I can't believe Indiana won that game.
Folded.
It was a great game. You know what else was just really... I don't know what... The interview with their quarterback.
I am a
the
Fernando Mendoza fan now.
It was so. I was like, am I watching like a robot right now talk to the reporter? I didn't know what to think. I remember watching it and I was like, did that just happen?
Indiana's the flipping champs. I love.
No, that was a great game. I think the Georgia Alabama game was a little surprising the way that Alabama lost.
-3 rushing yards.
Yeah, it was bad. But Georgia did its. I mean, Kirby Smart is such a good coach.
He got over his kryptonite.
Alabama didn't even drop a spot. So -3 rushing yards. Didn't even drop a fucking spot.
So this is what I was telling you before we started. I think where Alabama was ranked going into this game, they set Alabama up to not get penalized for losing the conference championship. The way they kind of said. But let me tell you, let me ask you this, a hypothetical for both of you. If Alabama would have got dropped from the playoffs, if they would have, what precedent is that setting for the future of the playoffs, making it to the conference championship and all of this?
I think, well, they said, they even kind of put emphasis on this when they talked about how they won't penalize conference champs. That's given that it's competitive.
Yeah.
That game was not competitive at all. And you're telling me Alabama doesn't even drop a spot? They started at 9 going into the game with Georgia, gets blown the hell out, -3 rushing yards, can barely do anything on offense all game, dropped passes, missed tackles, and they are still the 9th best team in the country, apparently. I'm not even a Notre Dame fan, but if I'm Notre Dame seeing Alabama get absolutely embarrassed by, yes, a team they beat within the first month of the season leading up to it, I would be pissed. Even Texas, I would be absolutely pissed. Like, it's ridiculous. I think, yeah, I get I'm biased against Alabama, but still.
So I hear I think everything you're saying is valid. My only argument to that is if they would have dropped Alabama out, it would have created, at that point, I don't think there's any point of having conference championships anymore.
I think it would have created more clarity, though.
But even that, though,
because like with BYU getting blown out, and it's like it would look like they stayed even more true to their word, because they said, like they've been saying it for months, keep it competitive in the conference championship game and it won't affect you. But it's like, now you're not, what kind of precedent does it set when you're not punishing the teams? You're only punishing one of the teams.
So let me ask you a question. Does it matter who blows out the team? Does it matter that Texas Tech blew out BYU and Georgia blew out? Like, does that matter? Because I think it's more embarrassing that you let Texas Tech beat the crap out of you than it is to Georgia beat the crap out of you.
Texas Tech is a good team. We're going to find out in the playoffs how good they are, but BYU lost to the same team twice. And I guess that, but their first game, correct me if I'm wrong, was competitive.
I don't think it was. I think
not
the
that competitive.
Quarterback. Yeah, he didn't. I see the argument, and I see everyone saying, and even all the Vanderbilt stuff and before we get into the Tulane and the James Madison and everything like that, it would have been detrimental, I think, to this whole. Now it's a whole nother topic of conversation that we got a bunch of people basically trying to figure out who the best team is with no structure, kind of the way the NFL is structured, to where you are what you are. There's a path. There's not people, Roger Goodell being like, hold on. Now, Patrick Mahomes has been in the Super Bowl a lot. I know he's having a bad year this year, but
he's good in the playoffs.
Entertainment-wise, we got to put him in.
He's earned it.
So he gets my at-large bid.
Yeah.
At-large bid.
So that's but you have to. I think they did not want to go against their whole saying of we can't punish making it to the conference championship, because we kind of did that last year and look where it got us. And if we do it again this year, especially with the same team, after we've been saying it all year that we wouldn't, and if we would have done it, it would have looked really, really bad. And then at that point, it's like, what can I do? How can I schedule my season to be just good enough, but not get in the conference championship, so we don't have that extra game to go against us if we lose, but be good enough to make it?
Yeah.
The best argument.
It's really, and this is this is
why
stupid.
College football sucks.
You don't know. It's stupid.
Yep.
And there's no structure. But even to this, the whole James Madison and Tulane, is it great that you're now giving the smaller guys a chance to compete for a playoff? Hold on. This is what the playoff was supposed to do on paper. Like, instead of just having the 4 best teams in, you give some underdog stories. You give some teams that they're good. Maybe they slipped up a couple times, but let's see if they can put together a run. And we're seeing that with the James Madison, to where I think Vandy would have been better. I think Notre Dame would have been better than Tulane. I think Texas would have been better. I mean, you can go down the list of teams that should be in over these two, but unfortunately, the way it's set up, they've just kind of given the small guy a chance, and it's set up poorly. It really is.
James Madison. Your prize is you get to lose by 60 against Oregon.
That's exactly what we lose, you guys, because it's bad TV.
Yeah. So we don't want to watch that game. So let me ask you a question, though. I saw this argument on Twitter.
Imagine Oregon loses.
Yeah. I saw this argument on Twitter, and he said, but look, if it was still a 4-team format with the 4 best teams and that's it, I think they got the 4 top teams right.
Yeah, they did.
So you can look at it, you can look at it like that and say 100% the 4 best teams are in the top 4 spots. So there's that. So I mean that's fun, but yes, when you really, I mean, all these teams are so interchangeable. Of the Oklahoma at 8, but like Texas beat Oklahoma, and it's
Texas.
I don't know.
Are they not second guessing scheduling that game against Ohio State now?
Well, yes, I think so. I think it was fine because they did keep it competitive to where if they wouldn't have lost to Florida the way they did, they're probably in, even with the Ohio State game.
So yeah, that's true. Their strength of schedule goes down if they don't play Ohio State.
That too.
So they might lose out to Miami anyways, just with the same record, but Miami played, I guess, a more difficult schedule, even though Notre Dame, I saw the math. I mean, yeah, it just sucks.
It's just
not mad that Notre Dame's out. It's funny because join a conference, pussies. But.
And then acting, I saw someone's like, could you imagine some of those kids where, maybe they've been waiting and this was finally their opportunity to start in a game or to play in a game, to get film on before they transfer or whatever the case may be. And your coach comes out and I don't care. It was not a team decision. Yeah. I don't care what you say.
I saw someone, I think Emmanuel Acho said it. He said this is like a kid at the basketball court who loses a game and then picks up his ball and goes home.
Yeah.
No one else
has no one else can play. Yeah. It's very petty, and especially all the years that they have bent the rules and been okay with you doing your own thing and you being solo and all this stuff, and you act like this when you don't get what you want. Very childish, very unfortunate for the kids who were slate to probably play in a bowl game, to have an opportunity to impress the Notre Dame coaching staff or another coaching staff that said kid would maybe transfer to.
What do you think about it, Chris? Because you've been watching, or you've been a part of college football for longer, but I mean, obviously they haven't had a BCS championship forever, or like a playoff.
What I think is really funny is that you have all these Notre Dame people saying, we like being independent, we want to be independent. If I just compared this to politics for a minute, how many independents, when you run a Democrat, Republican, or independent, how many independents have ever won? Okay, they don't win.
And how many are mad?
They don't win, right? You have to be one or the other to win. So if you don't either become part of the Big 12 or the Big, or part of the SEC, you're never going to win.
Something.
Join a party, Notre Dame. Yeah. You have to join. Have to join a conference.
Yeah, that's funny.
They'll never win without it.
It's okay, Notre Dame.
But they get special. They're on TV every Saturday, right? On NBC.
And when you finally don't get special treatment, you act like little spoiled brats. No, I mean, look, I think it's going to be fine. The top games are going to be competitive. Fun. The James Madison game, the Tulane game, they're going to be blowouts.
But everybody doesn't deserve a trophy. At some point, they got to get this right.
Well, and is
there a way to fix this?
The way to fix this is you don't have conference championships, and you just take the best 12 teams. That's the way to fix this, because then you don't have the argument of, well, what if they lose and if it looks bad and they made it to the conference championship and all this, and you don't have the argument with the James Madison and the Tulane. But then that opens up a whole nother can of worms. Well, what's the point of playing for James Madison, because we have no chance of making it to the playoffs because we don't have the automatic, taking the best last conference champion. So it's never going to work.
Kennesaw State should have made the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, like,
we say,
yeah. I mean, really, by the same
motherfuckers.
Yeah, by the same rules, Kennesaw State should be in the
or at least in the running to be like, hey, they won a conference championship.
Why not us?
Are they the best last conference championship winner
should
to get
have been
in?
Us instead of James Madison.
So yeah, there's no winner to it.
We played Indiana, at least. We played Indiana week 2.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah, we did. We
did.
lost by like 50.
Yeah, Kennesaw State. I remember they did play them. Yeah.
Yeah, look, there's no winner to this. What I come down to is what I said earlier, what I saw on Twitter. That they got the top 4 right.
Oh yeah, I've got no
the
complaints
top
with that.
4 are right, and then the rest of them
I
are
think
just
Texas
kind
Tech is
of
a sleeper, dude. That linebacker
defense. I'm telling you,
holy
that's
shit.
the linebacker I keep on talking about.
Holy shit,
He's going to be a good NFL
he had like
player.
2 interceptions, a couple tackles for loss. He's a dog.
He's going to be a great NFL player. Whoever ends up getting him.
Yeah, and in classic NFL fashion, he's going to go in like the 4th fucking round for some reason.
To the Ravens or someone like
Bears.
that. The Patriots would be great too. I think he's a great. But no, that will do that. I mean, there's so many ways you can go about it, so many ways you can look at it, so many ways you can manipulate your argument to who should have been in and why, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
But this just goes to what we've said is there's no structure and it's just a bunch of interpretation of who you think is the best team without like having it set in stone the way some other leagues are.
Yep.
That's all I'll say about that. To go into NFL, though, Week 14, we went into this week very, I don't want to say optimistic, very confident, I think, especially for you. I don't want to speak for you. There were a lot of other great games this week. Daniel Jones, unfortunately, the Texans and the Chiefs. That was a great game.
Phillip
Sanders,
Rivers.
like we said, Phillip Rivers. We don't know what's going on. You probably didn't hear about that.
Oh, just
you're
you
gonna
wait,
laugh
Chris.
when we bring that up.
Just you wait.
But to kick it off, I will let Dylan talk about his Bears Packers.
Actually, I want an outside perspective. What did y'all think watching the game?
So look, I think Caleb and the Bears, they couldn't get in a rhythm offensively for I'd say half of the game.
Credit to the Packers for that.
And, that was kind of the knock, I think, going into a lot of these games is you started very slow. Your defense kind of kept you in, and then Caleb started to get in a rhythm. The run game, the only game where that didn't happen was the Eagles game. And it was so impressive against the Eagles because we saw it last night, 7 sacks on Justin Herbert. And I don't think how many sacks
Caleb
and one, maybe one
got sacked once. Yeah, it was one.
So that was the first time to where we saw and you said that a complete game against the Eagles.
Micah Parsons had like 1 pressure all game, so it's like he didn't touch Caleb either.
And I thought the O-line played great for what it was, and Caleb using his feet, he's been very good at that this year. They just started to catch rhythm to
Yeah.
They dominated that second half.
That's what it was.
I think
for me.
it was dominating. And I think, especially leading into the 4th, you could just see how tired the Packers defense was from all of the different motions and runs. But yeah, just
Dylan,
too
listen,
slow of a start.
I didn't get to watch a Bears game all year until this game. I watched the entire
I liked
game.
what I saw.
I thought the Bears looked really, really good.
They looked
thought,
competitive.
slow start, but second half, they won the second half.
After they caught
absolutely.
rhythm, and after
looked
they
great.
got kind of the run game,
That's
and they were
right.
mixing in play action.
It was a good game.
It looked like the Bears against the
I'm
Eagles.
not down
and
on the
that's
Bears at all
That's why
because of that.
everyone was
either.
so impressed with the Bears against the Eagles.
Yeah.
To go on that, though, I think the Packers were able to run the ball pretty efficiently, not really put themselves in a lot of 3rd and longs.
Our pass rush is really going to be like the deciding factor, I think, of the playoffs. It's just not good enough. Like Love was so comfortable, and he played a great game, but like he was not getting pressured. Like let's not act like he wasn't throwing to. He had like 3 seconds to throw on most plays.
Yeah.
It just
And he's
sucked
sneaky,
to watch.
though. He's a sneaky quarterback.
He is. He
can move
learned
around.
from Rodgers, and you can tell with that back foot throw. That's an Aaron Rodgers throw. I watched Aaron Rodgers do that for 15 years on the Packers. And so to see him be doing that too kind of sucks. But I think this is a renewed rivalry. I think at the very least, this is for years. We've always, pretty much my entire life, the Packers, outside of a few games where we've beat them, before our last game in Week 18 when we beat them, they were on an 11-game winning streak against us. So it's like it has not been competitive. They've dominated us for the last decade. And finally, it had blowout written all over it after the first half. Like, the Bears aren't going to get anything going. The Packers are just going to keep scoring with long drives. But it wasn't. The Bears said, fuck that. That we are not the same team. And so I think, I think you may have said it on the show or right before we started recording. If that game was another quarter, we win. And even then, we were right there at the end to win it. I do not hate the decision-making from Caleb on that last play. I think he made the right throw just half a second late. Because watching from the other end zone view, you can DeAndre Swift, there was a guy gaining on him. There's a good chance that ball either gets knocked out or he gets tackled right before. and that hurts even more, quite honestly. Caleb could not have scrambled, I don't think. There were 3 guys and a guy trailing him, so that would have been hard. He might even get hurt on that play. Komet was open for like a split second. You just need to throw it a touch further.
Give him a bit
jump
more
ball.
chance.
He tried to give him a jump ball. He just underthrew it.
It was a little short. Yeah.
Underthrew a jump ball. If it's a jump ball, even like he doesn't even have to be wide open. Komet can catch that.
Yeah.
It was the right decision.
You did some Bears voodoo when you were up there for the draft, didn't you? You were out by the field.
Was the Pope.
You shook a little voodoo out there.
That was the Pope.
You did something.
No, look, and I'll say, I think you bring up that last play. What I like about that last play is, and I know moral victories, we hate moral victories, but growth in Caleb to trusting the play. And I was notorious for saying that. It could have been, hey, this is me. This is my moment. I'm going to try to get the first down. But he didn't. He gave his receiver a chance. He threw him. He was a little underthrown. He could have been better, but he trusted the play. He trusted his teammate. So that's the growth that I see.
Yeah. Also, the other thing for the people saying DJ Moore was open, DJ Moore sprung open as Caleb's throwing the ball to Komet. Yeah. And so that, on top of the fact that trailing defender, you would have had to also, while rolling to your left, you can lob it and complete the pass, but that's still a tough pass to make with enough momentum and speed on the ball. I get he's a professional, but that's still, he made the right choice. I was not mad about that final play once I saw how it played out. That's the exact same play they ran to beat the Eagles. Literally the exact same play. And Ben Johnson said it afterwards. But I think more so than anything, obviously I'm not down on the loss because, it probably helps that we play them again in 2 weeks in Chicago. And I do still feel confident about that game because I do think they'll come out with a better game plan. And hopefully Kyler Gordon can stay healthy because, my God, our slot really lost us that game with the pass rush. But those throws that Caleb was making to get us back into the game.
Yeah. The sideline throw.
That's why he drafted him. And I'm glad that he did it on prime time so that everyone can see that he does that a lot. But more so this week, he wasn't as inaccurate. I think there was a lot of miscommunication still. I don't know what it is. Because Ben Johnson has said it over and over, it's not just on the quarterback. And you can tell, it's like when defenses are running zone, just some of our younger receivers have a hard time deciding or being on the same page as Caleb as to whether I'm sitting or continuing the route. And Caleb is either, like half the time he's wrong. Like he's just having to guess because he doesn't know what they're going to do. And that's obviously second-year quarterback, first year in a new system.
You can kind of argue first-year quarterback with.
Kind of. But yeah, I would agree. And it's just, that was a first year system quarterback against a quarterback that's in his 6th year in the system. And we lost by 7. Arguably should have been tied. And it's, let's see you again in 2 weeks. This is a renewed rivalry. I feel good about it.
Yeah, and I know, me and Dylan hate moral victories, but this was, for what it was, for the growth, I think it could have looked a lot worse if the game ended up being what the first half was.
I'm almost glad that this happened. Obviously, if we're not going to win, I'd rather it be like, you lose a close game, but you felt like you could win because they're going to take that energy into, 2 weeks from now when the Packers come home. And I hope we dominate them like that second half looked because we're very clearly capable of doing it. 100%. And that's a great defense. But
imagine if they played the way the Falcons played in the second half.
Imagine if they played the way the Jets played against the Dolphins.
How about the Dolphins? Here we go,
baby.
4 in a row, baby.
Yeah,
hey,
4 in a row.
The Dolphins won in the snow. Not really in the snow, but in the cold.
It was like, they also have the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, who would have ever thought? After week 14, we have the same record. I realize we're both not in the playoffs.
If you had said that in our fantasy group chat, that the Dolphins and the Chiefs would have the same record after 14
it would have
weeks,
been like maybe 10 and...
You would have been told to check yourself into a mental institution.
Yeah. Or if they had the same record, it would have been they were both like had 11 wins or had like 10 wins, not 6 and 7.
Oh, man.
But the Dolphins did win. The Jets are... so funny to watch. It's so
bad.
Tyrod Taylor did get hurt. Bad. Like they were starting.
Cook.
From, was it Brady Cook?
The rookie from Mizzou. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know Brady Cook was on the Jets. Okay.
Yeah.
I did check for you, Chris. The Dolphins are not making the playoffs just because. Not that they won't finish with enough wins because they possibly could, but the Colts, Chargers, and Ravens all have tiebreakers over them, and y'all play the Steelers on Monday night in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, even if I was looking, even if we win the next 4. We're still not going to make it, although
it'll be a tiebreaker.
That does make sure
y'all.
that the Chiefs don't get in. And the Chiefs
That's
are literally, like, they lose one more, they're definitely out. And if a couple teams win, they're definitely out.
Yeah. We've been joking about it all year, really.
We really have.
Dolphins could be the team that keep the Chiefs out.
To go on to the Chiefs, though, Texans at the Chiefs. This game kind of played out how we thought it was. Very low-scoring defense. Mm-hmm. I think the whole meme of
Travis Kelce, dude.
Travis Kelce, that was the play where he was like
that was his Heisman moment.
That was his retirement moment right there. Like that play is gonna be. This is when you knew you retired. And my favorite part, I said it in the group chat. It happened so fast.
He was on the sideline.
He was on the sidelines on the bench, and you see him like he was like had his head down, and he like pretends to like catch a football and like put it in, and he was like. And like you could just see the set, and I so busted out laughing. Like, dude, that's so fucking funny what you just did.
That's funny. After the comments you made after losing the Super Bowl of I can't go out like that, my brother in Christ, it just got worse. That is in fact worse because that is like I think the third game-losing interception that you have caused this season.
Well,
correct me if I'm wrong. It's at least 2. I know that.
I don't know if it was game-losing, but he had the one against the Eagles.
That was game-losing, I think. Just because they would have scored, I think.
He had the one this week to where at least if he catches that, I mean, they have something to get a drive started with.
Hey, Rashee Rice found out what it feels like to be hit at a very, very high speed and have the offender leave the scene of the crime.
You know what?
Yeah, that was really funny.
How's that feel? Repeat?
So, you guys, you do understand that was the Chiefs' 13th game. And you know how Taylor Swift is with the number 13. That was their 13th game. And it literally,
hold on. I got a question. Do you think they got in a fight?
Nah.
Reports came out.
They got too much money to get in a fight.
They don't fight.
They don't care.
I looked at Haley. I said, I bet you they're fighting tonight.
No, so here's the thing. I saw this. When you yourself are a multi-millionaire and your fiance, like you don't even make up probably 5% of her net worth. I don't think you have anything to argue about.
1.
Yeah.
Hold on. So funny story about Taylor Swift. Haley told me this. So supposedly the wedding venue.
Oh yeah.
That
is it Arrowhead?
No, the wedding it's probably going to be now.
The wedding venue that they wanted on the date they wanted,
Josh Allen
was taken by someone
because it's on the 13th. Because she wants to get married on the 13th.
So supposedly,
this 13th?
No, next year.
Next year.
So supposedly, she offered to pay said people
a whole bunch of money
who were getting married on that day because they wanted that day. Here's my question: what would be your price tag?
Taylor,
hold on. Taylor Swift comes to you and says,
"Oh, you know it's Taylor Swift.
I want your date. Yes, you know it's Taylor Swift. I want your date. I want your venue on this day. That's easy. Know your what. What is your price?
Royalties on her music."
I said the same thing. I looked at Haley. I said, I want 5% of your next fucking tour.
No, you know what I want? It's very simple.
Of all your next tour.
It's very simple, Taylor. I know you love the number 13. 13 million. Cut me a check.
13 million.
But what would be your price tag?
13%.
If Taylor Swift came to you and said,
it'd have to be realistic, or they'll say no.
Royalties.
It's 13 million.
If Taylor Swift came to you and said, "What is your price tag? I want your venue. Yeah. I want your date. What is your price tag?" I would ask for 5% of her revenue.
Royalties is going to give you
never happen.
Royalties is going to give you like 50 million at least. At least
it's
13 million.
It's a funny question. Like, could you imagine? You just now I'm sure.
Oh no, that's not some normal person.
Yeah, that's true
getting
too.
married at that place.
That's true too. Yes,
they're probably also extremely wealthy.
That's very true. Yeah. But if it was a normal person and all of a sudden Taylor Swift, like you get from your wedding coordinator, hey, so funny,
did you hear though? But
funny
they said,
story. Taylor Swift,
they refused to do it.
To you.
No, the facility, the actual coordinator, like they said, no, we're not going to do it. I don't even think they'll tell them who's getting married on that day.
That sucks.
Like they said, and I'd be like, if I was that person, I'd be like, hey, sign me up, Taylor.
I'd be
tweeting it right now.
I'd be so mad if my wedding coordinator
I'd be like, yo, millions right now.
I would be too. But back to the Chiefs with that loss. I think their playoff chances are like 9% now. They're gonna miss the playoffs for the first time in Mahomes' career. And we were talking about it a little bit in our group chat with the Chiefs fans. This is a very important part of Mahomes' career arc because this is exactly where Brady was. Brady went 10 years without a Super Bowl. I don't think he had 2 appearances, right?
Yeah,
those Giants ones where he lost both of them,
and then the undefeated season. Yeah, that was in there as well.
Yeah,
so
but 10 years without a Super Bowl. That's a long time, guys. That's a long time. That's some people's careers in the NFL. So, can Mahomes...
Some people's.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? The average career in the NFL
like 3
is only
years.
like, three and a half years. That's it.
I just, Mahomes, it's going to be really interesting. Are you going to be able to reload the roster? Because right now, I am sick of all the excuses. And that Ryan Clark tweet talking about how Mahomes is underrated, you could not be, honestly, so far opposite of the other of the spectrum. He's overrated at this point. And I'm not afraid to say it. Like, he has not been playing good. You can say what you want about the O-line not protecting him as well. He's not accurate. He has not had a good season. I think this is his career low in completion percentage. He's 5 points above Caleb Williams, and he gets shit on all the time for his completion percentage. And what I don't see from Caleb that I see from Mahomes is Mahomes holds on to the ball a lot, and throws it like the last second. And he throws it at like when his receivers are already off balance. This is just not, it's not good football from him. And for all of the benefits of the doubt that he gets, this is just, he is a big reason why they're not going to make the playoffs. It's not just their offensive line because they've got the skill players. Don't kid yourself.
And he has a total passer rating of, I think, like I saw 91, not even above 100. So that,
which is still good, but by his terms, that's not good.
Well, and look, and here's the other part too, where this is kind of the argument that I have with kind of mobile-ish, court who rely on those, spectacular plays. Mm-hmm. Like Brady didn't have to rely on.
He had to rely on his accuracy.
He had to rely on his accuracy, rely on his arm.
Checking the play at the line and getting into the right play.
The knowledge,
the
not just like coming up with like, that was a Mahomes play, and holy crap.
Screw it, Tyreek's down there somewhere.
But look at Montana, look at Marino. The quarterbacks you're talking about, those guys didn't rely on the scramble. They stood in the pocket.
I'd say Joe plays. Montana relied a little bit on it.
He did.
Not very much.
But Marino, he was pure arm. He was pure.
He couldn't scramble. He had no knees.
So yeah, and I even have the same conversation with Lamar and Josh Allen. Like the only reason Buffalo's winning games right now, I don't
Josh
care
Allen
what you say.
Superman
I don't care if you say, it's because you're a Patriot. He has to be Superman for them to win.
He does.
Their offense is terrible. They have no receivers.
Back-to-back games of 4 touchdowns at this point, and it's no coincidence that they're winning.
He has to be Superman for them to win games. Yeah. And again, if Joe Burrow doesn't, I don't know what the fuck he did on that play. If he doesn't do that and just hands the ball off, they kill some time, kick a field goal. The Bills lose that game.
Yeah, that's true.
So the Bengals just got struck with another. Well, where are the Bengals? I don't know what was going on there.
The Bengals got a clean house. Sorry to change the subject, but
no, yeah,
but who's riding Mahomes harder? Is it Ryan Clark or Chris Collinsworth?
Look, I said this. I didn't say it.
You're gonna start losing viewership if you keep Chris Collinsworth and don't tell him to just like chill the fuck out.
But it wasn't just Chris. It was the other. What's his name? His name is is
it Al Michaels?
No. It's the other guy. I can't remember his name right now. But it was everyone. Even like we had it was right before Mahomes threw his third interception, and Chris, I've just seen this too many times. I can't count them out.
But it's Mike Tirico, I think.
They were all
it is Tirico.
And it was the whole team. It was talking about Kelsey. It was talking about Chris Jones. Where I just want to be like, have you really watched Chris Jones this year?
I will say, I will give him credit. He looked great. He was like one of the only players that was giving his entire effort, and he was a big reason that the Texans didn't have some bigger plays. But this season as a whole, you're right. Like so many times where we're seeing him take plays off.
Or out of the game entirely because he's tired in big situations.
Getting older. The Chiefs are getting older, man. They're getting older.
And I've said this for years, and you can back me up, If Mahomes is going to be thrown in the GOAT conversation, he's going to have to do this with multiple different groups of skill position, team, coordinate everything the same way Brady did. And we're going to see how good Mahomes is.
Brady took minimal talent on the offense most of the time. Obviously, Edelman's great. Gronk is incredible. Yes. He had Randy Moss. But let's not kid ourselves that he was thrown to people like Chris Hogan. And I mean, Danny Amendola was, he was solid player. But Danny Amendola is like a wide receiver 4 on most teams.
Yeah.
Or 3 at most, slot guy. He's getting the absolute most out of them. And honestly, I see a lot of, it's just, with the Chiefs, Mahomes hasn't been playing good. Seriously. And he's not playing within the system, it doesn't seem like. And maybe that's just because he doesn't trust the blocking is going to be there enough for the play to develop, but it's not pretty. It's not pretty football at all. And they have a lot of work to do for next season. And it starts with the draft, I think, which this is probably the biggest draft that they've had since Mahomes has been there.
They'll finally get a higher pick than 32.
You brought it up too.
You're right.
You brought it up too. They're going
to get Jeremiah Love.
They haven't been the best at drafting skill position guys either.
Sky Moore, Clyde Edwards-Helaire over Jonathan Taylor. It's like they're missing on can't miss picks that are they're like outsmarting themselves. But yeah, for all of the credit that they've gotten for a great team, they're having trouble sustaining that. And it's becoming more and more apparent as their talent that has just been propping them up the entire time is getting older. And now you're having to rely on those guys you drafted. Guess what? They're not that good.
Yeah. And I mean, your starting running back right now is Kareem Hunt. And
he's almost 30.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And I'm not preying on or wanting I love watching good football.
I do too.
And the reason
Chiefs were so much fun when they first came on. Like those first 2 years, they were awesome. Like they were so much.
And even
I know you probably didn't like it too much.
No. You know me. I appreciate good football. Mm-hmm. Yeah, can it be annoying? Yeah, can you be like, oh my gosh, like this guy again doing like winning last second? Like, yes, that's just football. But I appreciate good football and good teams and good play calls and everything that the Chiefs have been the past couple years of winning the division. It's not working, and we're really starting to see the age gap of I think Kelsey and the just lack of talent and the Mahomes trying to be Superman when he more times out of not this year just hasn't been able to do that the way he has.
He's overthrown
I also think Andy Reid is his clock is ticking too.
He is.
I think there's going to be a point to where he's
got a family.
Well, I was going to ask you about this. So if Andy Reid does, decide to step away in the next couple of years, does Matt Nagy become the head coach?
Hell yeah, he does. And have fun, guys. Can't wait.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. But it's like
the NFL though, it's like dog years, right? You start adding up the years in the NFL, it takes a toll on your body. Mm-hmm. You can't. That's why teams have windows. Yeah. Teams have windows of time that they can actually go out and do it.
We saw that people are talking about Buffalo. To where Buffalo's probably going to be in the playoffs. Yeah, they'll get a wild card because I think the Patriots will win the division. But all of a sudden,
big game this week.
All of a sudden, you throw Buffalo into the playoffs without Lamar, without Burrow, and without Mahomes. On paper, you better get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's true.
And if you don't,
it's closed. That's it. You're done.
When are you ever going to?
Maybe the Bills trade for Justin Jefferson.
I mean, they need something because they have no one to pay.
They've already done it once.
But let's face it,
if you stop Josh Allen running the ball and you stop James Cook running the ball, in my opinion, I think you're going to have Josh forcing down the field, throwing interceptions.
That's true.
And kind of what he does if he doesn't turn into Superman the way he has.
There's another team though that a quarterback came in year 2, started playing, and look what he did. Look at the dynasty that was created in your Patriots, right? When Brady came in, it was year 2, and look at the table they ran. And so you guys are set up. You could be that person to knock off Buffalo. Wouldn't that be crazy in the AFC Championship?
Well, when I brought this up to you the other day, when you look at the AFC, like I think the Broncos aren't a very good team. They're not. They remind me a lot of the Bears of how slow they start, and then they just kind of their defense keeps them in the games to have their offense do just enough to win in the fourth quarter. We saw kind of what the Colts are. I don't even think the Colts are going to make the playoffs now, so we won't have to worry about them. You have the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is
playing better, I guess.
He's playing better, but he's also a ticking time bomb to if he throws 3 interceptions. Who's the other division winner right now? Then
you've got the Ravens. Or no, Steelers are in the lead.
The Steelers are a ticking time bomb.
It could be. It could come down to the Bills and the Patriots.
The Texans, to me, are the only team defensive-wise where I go, that team could give you a lot of problems.
Texas haven't reached their potential on offense either. They've got the skill guys. They just need to put it all together, and I think it's getting there. I know Chiefs have a good defense for all the shit we give them. They played a good game against the Texans. They only held them
20 points.
It was 10 points for a lot of the game.
They held them to, I think, 4 3-and-outs to start the second half, in a row.
Their offense just couldn't do shit. I think they completed 1 pass in the second half. Yeah. And talking about the Chiefs. But onto our next topic, you mentioned the Colts. This sucks for Daniel Jones. This really sucks. He was about to get paid. And now I don't know what happens with him. Maybe back to Minnesota. Quite honestly, that might make the most sense.
It does. It just also goes to show how fast
life comes at you fast.
How fast things could flip.
Yeah.
And you can say, "Well, I wasn't the biggest Colts fan. I don't want to see this."
No one wants.
No one wants to see this. I didn't think the Colts were all that good. I didn't believe so much in Daniel Jones when it came to the game being on him. But I don't want to see this. This really sucks, especially his reaction.
I guarantee you, your fiance was telling you why he tore his Achilles too.
Yeah, because he was having to use other parts of his body more.
Because he had that fractured fibula.
So
he was it was the other leg.
His body was having to make up for, not putting as much stress or not putting as much force on that other foot, which causes, obviously, the other parts of your body out of balance, and something like that happens, yes.
Yeah. And, Chris, this is the part that you probably weren't aware of.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the Colts brought in Phillip Rivers. He has not unretired yet, but he did go into Indy for a workout.
They're the Colts
waiting
tight
on
end,
the breaking news.
The Colts tight end that they just drafted,
Tyler Warren.
He's
the QB2 right now.
Tyler Warren, Phillip Rivers' oldest son is older than Tyler Warren.
Wow,
that's
crazy.
I didn't know that.
So in dog years, that's like 300. Yeah,
so without Daniel Jones, do you know Tyler Warren
is
there? Anthony Richardson, he's still on IR with his eye injury, and Riley Leonard, the Notre Dame quarterback, he hurt himself, and so Tyler Warren is their only healthy quarterback right now. He was QB2 last week's game.
Wow.
And what I would do if I was Joe Flacco
for fantasy purposes, if I was Tyler Warren, you could play quarterback.
If I was Joe Flacco, I know you can't trade, and I know the trade window's over.
Jameis.
But the same way that Adam Thielen or Jameis Winston, yes, the same way Adam Thielen, asked to be dropped so he can get picked up by a playoff team.
Brady,
that would be funny.
This was a good question.
Who'd you have more faith in to come out of retirement?
So for any of these, obviously the Brady one was a joke, but with Phillip Rivers, I saw someone brought it up this morning. Does this reset his Hall of Fame clock?
Yes, it does. It absolutely does.
Wait another 5 years
because that happened to Gronk when he got done and then he came back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, but I think if I was like Joe Flacco, if I was Jameis Winston,
Colts have a good roster.
I'd ask to be like, hey, can you release me so I can maybe get picked up by the Colts? Like I can go have an opportunity to play. Like even if Joe Flacco, kind of what he did with the Bengals, it'd be. I would take Joe Flacco on the Colts right now with the weapons they got and the run game they got. We've said that all year, is that all you need is competent quarterback play, and you've got a great team, which is why we saw they were the position they were in.
Very true.
Probably get Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but the whole Phillip Rivers thing is pretty funny.
Go out and get Russ.
Anything I think is better than having Tyler Warren out there taking snaps.
Yeah, we don't know that. We don't know that. And
I feel bad for AJ though. That sucks.
I feel bad for AJ too.
Yeah, I have not heard anything from AJ since that happened.
Yeah, he's probably in hibernation.
It's okay, AJ.
Not happy.
Bears, you can come on over to the Bears. But on to Mr. Shedeur Sanders.
Oh.
And I said this might happen. Cool. It was the Titans. A lot of quarterbacks haven't been this good against the Titans this year. So this is, 364 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 interception. Brought them back down from, I think, 14 in the fourth quarter, something like that.
And then they decided not to have him in on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and then Kevin Stefanski proves to everyone in front of the world that he really does hate Shedeur. And you cannot tell me any differently. And I think it's just so rich and funny that after the fact, after the game, he decides to just dump a pile of praise on him to try and cover his own ass. As if I can't tell if he wants to be fired and is doing this on purpose and actually just, I don't know. It feels more like he didn't want to draft Shedeur. What are you thinking? That is very clearly a play, first off. That I know Shedeur, defended him and said we wouldn't run a play in the game if it didn't work in practice. You very clearly only rep that play point because the running back forgot to fucking pitch the ball.
Yeah. That's a great
point. Very clearly the repetition is not there. And that was, I don't.
Well, and you make that play so one-dimensional.
Yeah.
You make it's going to be a run. It's going to be some type of variation of trick play like it originally was.
They came out in Wildcat and the quarterback isn't even on the field.
Wonder what's going to happen. Especially after having the game he had and some of the clutch, throw. I thought his one throw for
that touchdown.
It was
oh my
perfect.
God. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
not that it
to
matters,
Njoku
but
after he got
head-to-head
hurt
against the number 1 overall pick, clearly he outplayed him. It's
Yeah,
obvious
they're friends too.
Shedeur
They're very good friends.
is pretty good. He's definitely better than a 5th-round
It's
quarterback.
almost like he would have belonged in like even a day 2 pick, but there was a hidden agenda at play.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what team? I think he
Raiders.
the Raiders. He could have been better
Steelers.
on the Steelers. You can argue he could have been better on than what they're getting right now. I know they kind of had a good game, but let's not forget the previous game they had. Tomlin blowing kid like, congrats, you're gonna finish above 500 by 1 game.
But are they going to keep Shedeur? Get rid of the coach?
They'll keep him. They'll probably keep him.
They
They
almost
have to keep
to.
Shedeur. They announced that Shedeur is the starter for the rest of the season. And I don't think Stefanski's lying when he says that like Shedeur's playing good, but I do think it's late. I think he's been showing improvement, and you're just now showing it after all the spotlight's on you, even though it kind of has been already, but now it really is, because this is egregious. Like, this is very clearly rooting for somebody to lose, and at least in my eyes. You don't take someone out of a game after they have lit up that defense and just drove you down the field to, like, for the game-winning touchdown. Or game-tying touchdown. That 2-point conversion made 0 sense.
Well, the script, though, it didn't match the script. They had to lose.
It didn't match the script of the Browns. The owner called down, was like, you can't let him do it.
Hey, whoa.
Can't let him do it. Don't let him do it.
Whoa.
Don't let him do it.
Don't make Shedeur look too good.
Look, I mean, it's not that I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him,
I'll say it.
Or not. I don't want him to. I'm not the one, though, that person who's wanted to see him fail, and I'm not just like, he's the best quarterback ever. He should have been in the first round. Should have been top 5. But for what he's kind of been drugged through, and for all the shit that he's gotten, for just everything,
He keeps a smile on his face.
he hasn't thrown anyone under the bus.
Nope.
And everyone thought he would.
All that diva stuff, all that prima donna bullshit you were talking about, Deion raised him right. He may have raised him to have an ego. All athletes have an ego. So you want your quarterback to be, I say the same thing about Caleb, arrogantly confident. It's not cocky. You just believe in yourself that much. You think you were born to play the sport.
Like Burrow, like Josh.
You don't get a good product out of somebody if they don't have the utmost confidence that they're going to pull through. It's just, look at every single good quarterback in the league has that trait. Everyone. It's not a coincidence. And I don't know when it became a problem to have that kind of trait. If it's a mature individual and they've learned, and Shedeur's had plenty of learning moments already, it seems like he's taking them with him. And I'm rooting for him. And I do think that the Browns have something there if they just round out the roster. The defense is there. It's already there.
Hey, teams make bad picks all the time. Okay, you can look at every draft every year, bad picks all the time. Yeah. I agree with you, Dawson. We're not saying he should have been a first rounder. No. But I can tell you one thing.
Day 2 pick.
He clearly should have been drafted before Cam Ward.
Not Cam Ward. You mean Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel, sorry.
They should have. Absolutely. Shedeur should have been like a round 3 pick.
Yeah.
And proof is in the pudding, guys.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how it shakes out if they decide to keep their coach and all that. And Deshaun Watson, they're saying they're keeping him.
They are keeping him.
Just everything like that. But no, we will get into now 4th and long.
Should have some fun ones.
We do have some fun ones.
Here we go. On a 4th and
Before we do start 4th down, I know it's kind of been
21, not
the
the way
Montana Grizzlies did
it.
win on Saturday. They won their first playoff game at home.
Did you see the Montana State players crashing out after a win?
Yeah, there's
do we know the story behind that?
So here's what's funny. Yes, there is a story behind that. So I can tell you
Let's
the
make
actual
that our
story
first cut.
is it's not as bad as it actually looked. Apparently, he was trying to dab up a player on the other team that he played with before he transferred to Montana or to Montana State. The coach didn't like it, so it kind of got blown up. There was something.
Which coach? Their coach?
The Montana State coach didn't realize that it was someone he had played with. That's what they're saying publicly. I don't know. But he's also, that running back is a first-round draft. They're saying he's a first-round drafter in the NFL. They're saying that. They're saying he's that good. So, that being said, he had to save his reputation. It was a little PR work.
Yeah,
so, anyway.
Fair. Congrats
here we
on
go.
The Grizzlies.
Yeah, they did win.
They advanced. So we play on national TV. We play ABC 3:30 Eastern.
So Yale got smacked.
It's going to be great. Okay, guys, here we go. National Signing Day was last week. It's not as binding as it used to be before NIL money. Yeah. Do you think there should still be
after a year anyways.
This day? Should they still celebrate this day, or should it be a relic of the past thanks to NIL? Are you punting or going for it?
I do think it's lost a lot of its value. I don't think it matters as much anymore.
That's true, but you can't just completely get rid of it. It's a big deal to athletes.
For the high school players, yeah.
It's a big deal to the athletes. It's a big deal to make that decision. They've earned that kind of
they've earned that spotlight.
What's the word I'm looking for? They've earned kind of the recognition, and to make it kind of a big deal. And it may look a little silly to some people, like with the hats and all that stuff. But
I think the silliest part is when families decide to crash out when your son doesn't pick what school you want.
Like the one, did you hear the mom that signed for the kid because he was only 17, signed him to a different team that he doesn't want to play for?
Yeah.
Families,
the team that probably gave him the most money, because that's all that matters about.
Yeah, that's all they care about.
That's all they care about.
They raised you clearly to be a nest egg. That's all you are to them. I'm sorry to say it.
No, I don't. You can't get rid of it. It's still, you got to celebrate. It's a lot of hard work that goes into that, especially for the top guys and for just everything that goes into it, and all the hard work to kind of sit there, celebrate with your family. For the people who do it the right way, you can't just get rid of it.
Yeah, it's just not as binding though, because
it is. I agree.
Now it's really just a financial commitment. Is really all that it is, and you can get out of it.
That's why they need contracts.
Yeah,
yes,
need contracts.
For sure.
Well, they got rid of the letter of intent. And now it should be a contract. Like it should be a contract of signing to
the Wild West.
And you hear that former Georgia player getting sued by Georgia now.
I did see that.
A lot of money.
I did.
Because he left early.
I saw that.
And it's going to be interesting. Legal battles.
It's going to be very interesting.
Is the bowl era officially over? So with teams not wanting to play.
How many teams have dropped out?
Okay, first of all, here, I'll give you some of them. The Birmingham Bowl, for instance, had 12 schools offered to play before someone finally accepted. And so, Notre Dame, Kansas State, Iowa State, Florida State, Auburn, UCF, Baylor, Rutgers, they've all said no to bowl games. And I know Dawson has an opinion on this.
Yeah, he said it earlier.
But are bowls officially over? Are we punting or going for it?
They'll never be over because of all the money tied
I hope
to it.
not, because they're fun. But
no one cares about fun.
No one really cares. Yeah.
So this is my thing. I think,
especially now that you've expanded the playoffs and you are opening the door for more people to be upset. This is gonna happen. There's no requirement. So
I think the only unfortunate part is it goes to the guys and to the players who are probably good enough to play, but unfortunately they play for schools like Notre Dame that bring in a ton of talent. So they just they don't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
Or for instance, the running back behind Jeremiah Love. Let's say Jeremiah Love decides to opt out of their bowl game, obviously because he's going to be a first-round pick.
Probably would, yeah.
Probably would, without them being in the playoffs. So that second-string running back, who's probably pretty good, he's just been behind Jeremiah Love the whole season.
Caleb did the same thing at USC when he, so they were out of playoff contention, and he decided not to play in the bowl game and just still showed up to the game and just let his backup play the entire game, and he went off.
It's that. And, you never know what that could do for said player, whether that's, the Notre Dame coaching staff saying, hey, we've got something with this, or another team coming to the table for transfer-wise. Yep. So it sucks on that end because a lot, even Notre Dame saying that, I don't think that was a team decision. I think that was an administration.
It was.
That was a head coach.
I really don't even think that was a Marcus Freeman decision. He just doesn't seem like the type. That seems like an athletic director situation where the athletic director might be on the committee.
Or how about the kids now that don't get their final game? Now it's like shit.
That too.
Yeah,
all the seniors.
It just sucks when you make a rash decision like that out of, it was anger, it was jealousy, it was all those things. It sucks for the guys who are there just waiting and dying for that one opportunity that they could have. And for a lot of them on the big teams, because a lot of their star players who are going to the draft or this or that, they opt out, which creates opportunity for all these other players to play. It sucks for those guys because you never know what the talent could be. Like the whole Jeremiah Love thing, there could be two great running backs sitting behind him, but obviously you're going to play Jeremiah Love. He's a first round draft pick.
He's the Heisman.
How about a month of extra practice though?
That too.
For development for the next year.
There's the Notre Dame, that's it. That's how you're going to end it.
Notre Dame
You're
is
just
a
gonna
joke.
Sour grapes.
Notre Dame
but
is
even
a that,
joke.
like the bowl. But to answer the question though, I don't think bowls will ever go away because there's so much money tied into it, and they'll find someone to play them. They'll find someone to put on TV. They will, and even if because I know the minimum, you have to win 6 games or is it 5 games?
Yeah, it'll come down.
It will come down to
Everybody's eligible.
Everyone's eligible, or you just got to win 4 games because we got to fill in these games, and those teams will. Someone will say yes because we have to have it because of all the money tied in.
True.
So that could happen, but it sucks. I think even with the conference championships, it just unfortunately what they've created is it doesn't matter if it's not a playoff game, if it's not a New Year's Eve bowl, if it's not a Rose Bowl, if it's not any of those, it doesn't matter. And to some people will say, well, that's how it should be. That the big bowls should matter and all the other ones should go away. I could argue that too. Keep the big ones in, get rid of all the small ones. If you don't make the playoffs, season's over. No bowls, no anything. But that won't happen because of all the money tied in all of it. So it's just, there's so many ways you could go. But again, it's the wild, wild west of college football. No one knows what the fuck is going on. And it's never going to change until there's some serious conversations had and rules and
well, like you said, contracts, ways to bind these players.
There's some serious conversations that people need to have. And the whole argument of their kids and their student athletes and all this, that is all out the freaking window. This is semi-pro NFL football at its finest. And until you can understand that and until you can, it's never going to change.
Well, that being said, they need to take all the big power conferences. They need to create divisions like the NFL, and it is what it is. Win your division, go to the playoffs. Don't win, you're out.
At that point, at least there's structure to it. At least you know how to get in. At least there's not.
At least you know.
At least it's not up for interpretation of, well, we lost to this team, and this team beat us, and this team beat us, and then we lost to this team by 14 in the conference championship, but they said we're not going to get punished by it, so we can't get punished by it, so it really doesn't matter, and then this team loses, and then BYU, like, fucking A. Like, no one knows.
Nope. Yeah. Okay, Dylan, no so I've got one here for you. So I've heard this around the office a lot with Dawson, with Jake. So, into both of you guys, are you into this final season of Stranger Things? Are you punting or going for it?
I think it's off to a pretty interesting start.
We haven't touched on it because I know you're a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Oh, we've all seen it now. And hopefully most people have seen it. I mean, it's been out for like
there's no
a couple weeks now.
Spoiler alert.
No spoilers. Come on.
I thought it's off to a very interesting start, and I do think they've already alluded to it, so I do think it's kind of cheap to be just kind of keeping the mind flayer in the back where we know it's like that is the big bad, and you're just kind of Vecna's up front. And he's got, a motive to do what he's doing. But at the end of the day, we've seen it. We saw it at the end of season 4. In season 3, it was like the main villain. So I do think we're in for a very big, I guess you could say, twist with the next 3 episodes that come out on Christmas. But it's been good so far. I think they learned from season 4, and I think they got a lot more structured with their storylines and not just jumping from, this group's in California. But now we're back to Hawkins, and this group's in the Upside Down, and there's one person that's not with anybody. Well, we're going to follow them too because they're important. It's getting a lot better. It's more fluid.
It is
much
still
more
kind of like that though,
but bigger groups.
But it's all in Hawkins now. There's not like all over the country.
They're all doing the same thing.
But there
for
are
the most
still
part.
little groups, and it's funny because they kind of split everyone. Like every season, they've split like everyone with new characters to kind of build those character arcs with each other, and then they all bring them together at the end to like create the cohesive team that they were kind of all separately.
Yep.
So I've always liked that about the show, but no, I think there's a lot of theories going on of Mr. Whatsit and Vecna not being the real bad guy. He's being controlled,
mind flayer.
And he's actually trying to kill the mind flayer, and so there's a lot. But it's been great. I enjoyed it. I think the last twist was, in the
with Will
4 with Will. I thought that was great, and how it's kind of like a proximity power to Vecna, not like he like just has them. What I'm waiting for though is what they've been teasing it for seasons now is the dragon. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it was what Will drew Mike with him being, and they were like fighting the dragon with like 3 heads or whatever. I think that ultimately is going to be the huge villain over the Mind Flayer. I think the Mind Flayer is controlling, obviously Vecna to get what he wants, and then it's the big, because they've been hinting at it for seasons now, for years. But
is it 3 episodes that get released on Christmas?
3 episodes Christmas,
and then the Christmas Eve?
No,
New Year's
Eve. Or
So
New Year's,
how do you think they've done though so this show came out when you guys were getting ready to go into high school.
We were 15 years old.
Yeah, you were getting ready to go into high school when this came out. So how have they done with now 30-year-old characters still playing teenagers?
Yeah, you could
Does that work?
Well,
it works a little bit.
What other shows have that happened in? That's
Euphoria.
That and there's so many that I can go down the list to where it's just like
even the old shows.
Is it believable?
Back when we were growing up,
Oh, it's believable.
They always use like people in their 20s as high schoolers. I mean, the Scooby Doo movie, those people were like,
yeah.
But they didn't start though when they were like super young.
But my thing,
that's
what
true.
this, I'll end it with this for that question. What this reminds me of, this kind of period with Stranger Things. And kind of like, everyone's waiting for it and everyone's so excited. This reminds me of Endgame, when everyone was waiting for Endgame. And how nothing, I think, will ever match that of just all the theories and all, well, this is going to happen. And what if this happens? And just everything. And then to finally, sit down in the seat and see how it ends and see the story unplay after hearing all the theories of what's, so that to me is... For all the fans, appreciate it, because you're not going to have, like this is, like we just said, 15 years, or not 15
it's
years.
It's a finite resource. You don't get it forever,
10
guys.
plus years in the making of us caring about these characters and the story and what's going to happen. And it doesn't always happen like this, to where we care so much about fictional characters. And the only thing I can really attest it to is Endgame, of how there was so much tie and so much care into the characters of just the fans watching of what's going to happen. And I feel the same way with this. And once it's gone, it's gone. And
gone forever.
So appreciate it.
The only thing that I can compare it to from my generation, because we never had anything like this, Star Wars.
Yeah.
And even that was so much different. This is you guys are just growing up in a different world.
Yeah.
It's a part of who you are. While you were growing up and figuring out who you were and who the world was, this show was a part of it. Yeah. And now it's about to be over.
Yeah. Yep. Same thing with Marvel and Endgame and everything like that. But no, I'd say appreciate it, because as soon as it's gone, as all the waiting and all that, I can't wait. As soon as it's over, it's over.
And now you're done waiting.
Yeah. So, but I'm looking forward to it. It's been, I have personally enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought the first 4 episodes were pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple more here. Zach Ertz looks like his career might be over. That was a nasty hit. Well, first of all, was that a good hit or not? I mean, you punting or going for it?
I think it's an illegal hit, because I'm pretty sure even if Zach Ertz didn't jump, he's still getting hit below the belt. Zach Ertz didn't do himself any favors.
Multiple things can be true.
Yeah.
Your quarterback threw you a hospital ball.
Yeah.
The defender probably could have done better.
Was that after Daniels was already out?
Yes,
was that Mariota threw that? Nice job, buddy.
Your quarterback threw a hospital ball over the middle. The defender probably could have done a better job at seeing what he was hitting. And Zach Ertz jumping, leaving the ground also didn't help. So a lot of things compiled on top of each other to end with a really unfortunate injury.
That's a rough way to end your
to
career.
A player who is very, I'd say, loved across the sport. For it to end like that.
It's a 13-year career that ends like that. Kind of sucks.
It does suck.
Yeah. Okay, last one. So it's been since 2015 that Mahomes and KC has been winning the division. This looks like the first year they won't win it for that long. Is the dynasty over, or is this just a blip on the radar?
This dynasty is over.
Going for it?
I think the Patriots had 2 different dynasties. So it's arguably, I do think this dynasty is over. Yeah, first half's over. It's time to reload, guys. It might not happen all next season, but this iteration of the Chiefs, dead in the water, at least in my opinion.
I agree. I think, if you're gonna be compared to Tom Brady your whole career, and that's just unfortunately how everyone has painted it. You're going to have to put together now the second half of your career. The same way Brady did, and the same way, a lot of these other guys have. And if you're going to be compared to that and you want to go up against and say you're the GOAT, you're the best of all time, you're going to have to do it. and you might have to do it without Andy Reid. You're going to have to do it without Kelsey. You're going to have to do it without Chris Jones. You lost Tyreek Hill. You kind of haven't been able to figure it out without Tyreek Hill since he left.
Yep. But it helps when you've got a guy, because Mahomes is not an accurate quarterback, at least from what I've seen, and he's just gotten worse over time. It's just, we're seeing what happens when you don't have that deep threat, which we thought Xavier Worthy could be, but you could just chuck it anywhere, and he'll outrun his coverage, and he'll just run right under the ball. We saw it like Mahomes' first year when that Ravens game. Those were not good passes. That was just Tyreek Hill being faster than everyone else and running right past people as the ball lands. And it's just, it wasn't sustainable. And I think we're seeing it now. And you've got the skill position players. I love Rashee Rice. I know he's probably a bad person, but he's a great football player. And there's no excuse, really. I think they played the best defense in the league last week. Cool. You had your opportunities even. Mahomes overthrew guys. It's just, there were plays to be made. And the Chiefs have, I said it earlier, they've got a lot of work to do. And it's probably not all going to be done in one season. It'll be interesting to see how they look next year.
Well, and look, you're also going to have to maybe have a hard conversation with Mahomes the same way they did with Brady, to where, hey, that's great. We gave you this huge contract. And, you earned every single penny of it. That's not up for question.
Though, this season? No,
with the Super Bowls and with everything.
Yeah, are you the team or are you?
You've earned every dollar, every penny of that contract.
He has.
But if you want to win and you want to put together some more Super Bowls, it can't be this.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, there's also the window, though. If you think about the similarities between these, talk about the Patriot dynasty and talk about what the Chiefs have done. Look at the division they're in. You could argue that the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Jets were bad for a long time. Was that helpful for Brady? Sure, a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah. Did they? But he still had to go out and execute, and he had to beat the big quarterbacks. You look at the Chiefs right now. Is their window closing? Is that division going to get better?
Well,
are they going to have a free pass like they had for so long?
This was an argument it's the same thing. For all the years that the Chiefs were winning, they had to go up against the shitty Rams. The Broncos were terrible. They've had 2 decent years now.
Raiders,
that's what the Raiders were terrible. The Broncos were just now getting good.
I didn't lie when I said it earlier this week. So since the Chiefs, I guess you could say dynasty has been around, the other 3 teams in that division have picked top 10 at least twice. Bad teams, bad football teams.
And that's
the Broncos have not been relevant since after the Super Bowl that they won. And seriously, they just became relevant like a year and a half ago. So, save it, guys. I get it. You're Chiefs fans, and, you probably have the same feelings that we do about our teams, and you want them to be good, and you'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and you'll make excuses up for them so you can feel better about how bad they're playing. But they've been handed the division, really. And they've been a great team, too, but there has not been competition up until this year and last year. Not really.
But it's not a knock when we say it's the same way with Brady. It's not a knock. Yes, their division was bad, but when they got to the playoffs, they won Super Bowls. They beat everyone.
Yeah.
So the same thing with the Chiefs. Yes, you had a shitty division that you won it, but when it mattered, you were still winning games and winning Super Bowls.
It helps getting that home field advantage guaranteed every year, though.
You still have beat some really, really good teams to lead to Super Bowls and playoff runs.
That's very true.
Regardless of how shitty your division was. The same thing with the Patriots. So it's not a knock saying, oh, well, they didn't deserve it.
It just can't be used as an excuse now.
Yes.
You guys had it good for 7 years, and it's nobody gets that. Look at our division. 12 wins might not get us into the playoffs. Dude, save it.
Yeah,
same as last year, too.
We had a 14-win 5 seed in the NFC
spread those,
North.
shake those teams up, put one in each division. They could all be division winners.
Yeah, they could.
I
crazy.
completely agree. Yeah.
That's it, guys. That's all I got for 4th and long.
Well done.
Nice job. To go into week 15, we'll kind of wrap these up a little quick.
Got some cool games.
We've got some big games. Me personally, I think
is probably the biggest.
The Lions-Rams looks great. Packers-Broncos will, I think, say a lot about
a massive game.
About a lot of playoff implications. But to start off, Bills-Patriots. Look, I think if we were at home, we beat them in Buffalo. If we seriously take care of the run game, which on paper, we have been very, very, I think we're the second best team to stopping the run this year. We take away James Cook and make Josh Allen be Superman, try to force the ball down the field, try to run, try to do all these things.
That was the formula last time.
It was.
Josh Allen had like 2 or 3 turnovers. So,
and he's had more turnovers this year than he did last year because he's been having to do that in all of his games. And the couple games, it's just worked out for him. It worked out for him last week. Bengals defense isn't very good.
I wonder what they were thinking bringing in Josh Palmer as their wide receiver 1. It's just like they must not think Josh Allen deserves. Like
and Coleman hasn't really worked out for them either.
Yeah, that's true.
He's been through some.
Shakir, I like Shakir,
but even he can only do so much.
Yeah, he's a slot guy.
He's a slot guy. No, if we stop the run, we force Josh Allen to be Superman, to make mistakes. I think we win this at home. We win the division. This is a t-shirt game, so that'd be awesome to win it against the Bills.
Are you wearing the rivalry jerseys?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't think so. But I know also, to go on top of my team, we got flexed into a Sunday night against the Ravens. So
next week,
when your team is getting flexed into primetime Sunday night games,
happened with us too.
You're doing something good.
Yes, you are.
So that's cool. I'm very, very excited for this game. Anytime we play the Bills, especially with just how it's been and all the Bills fans, just everything that comes with it.
Yep.
This is an awesome game for me. This is like Packers, Bears for you.
Yep.
So I cannot wait for this game. I seriously can't. Next one, we'll go on to your game. You guys are playing Mr. Shedeur Sanders.
We need to win this game.
You know what would be hilarious? Is Dylan has, I think, out of everyone that I talk to with sports, he's been the biggest Shedeur fan and like supporter.
Oh God,
yeah.
No, just not this week.
Not this week. If this man goes for 350, 3 tutties, that'd be really funny and ironic to go against.
It would be, yeah. What I'm worried about is the Browns defense. And so this is a great test for Caleb. And it's our rookie left tackle back-to-back weeks gets Micah Parsons and then Myles Garrett. And he played fucking awesome against against Micah Parsons last week.
How many sacks is Myles Garrett's? Oh wait, is he?
Myles Garrett has 20 sacks now. He needs 3 in the next 4 games. I think 4 games, right? Yeah, 4 games. He can get it. I think he will get it.
He's 100%.
He's got 25 on his wrist tape every week. And so he wants to beat it by 2.5 sacks. But
I don't think he's going to sack Caleb, though. That's a pretty hard sack.
He is the hardest quarterback in the league to sack.
I saw a
pretty
crazy stat. I think Caleb, in the last couple games, he's been pressured like 30 some odd times, 0 sacks on that. Which is, I mean, that's really good. That's not just luck.
No, it's not.
That's skill.
That is, I mean, people praise Lamar for his escapability all the time. Caleb does it a little differently. I mean, he's breaking tackles. Yeah. And it's like he's shrugging guys off of him. Lamar is shifty as hell. But yeah, it's time for Caleb to get some respect. And I think he can earn it at the end of this season. I think we're going, and obviously we can still miss the playoffs, but I do think we're a good enough team to squeak in, even if it's in a wild card spot. But yeah, this is a big game. Cannot lose. This is step 1. Yeah. You have to get to 12 wins. Have to. You need 3 more. So this has to be one of them. You get the Packers, 49ers, and Lions to end the year.
Yeah, you have to win this. If you slip up this one, then it's...
It's not looking great if they do.
I agree. Next one, let's go to the Lions at Rams. This is going to be, for you need the Lions to lose.
Mm-hmm. Let's go Rams, baby.
Yeah, you need the Rams to win. The Rams look great. Puka looks great. Matthew Stafford, I think... will probably end up being the MVP. I think it's him or Drake May. I would say saying when you have receivers putting up the numbers that Devontae Adams is and Puka is, and then you look at Drake May and what he's kind of doing, I would give the nod to Drake May.
Just all the touchdowns that Stafford has.
That is true. No, I agree with you. He's playing, and I love Stafford. I've always loved watching Stafford.
This might be the best year of his career.
It'll be Stafford.
And, playing the Lions, I think he has a little bit extra motivation every time he plays the Lions.
Yeah.
This game's going to be fun.
Goff, too.
Goff as well. That's true.
That's why they match them up, it seems like, every year. If they can help it. I know it's not a great game to them. But.
And I think, even the Rams kind of sputtling a little bit against the Panthers last week.
Yeah. They looked good against the
Panthers a couple weeks ago.
Though.
They did look, Cardinals are
just a bad team.
The Cardinals are a bad team.
Just a bad team.
No, I can't wait for this one. The Lions, Rams for you. I'll hope that the Lions maybe lose just so it gives the Bears a little bit.
Don't tell Haley that.
Better,
Don't tell Haley that. She's going to be right next to you in her Lions hoodie.
Yeah, I know, right? It's funny though. She looked at me the other day and she's like, I can't wait to send Dylan another text saying, with like what she sent when they played at the beginning of the year. She sent you like some, I think, meme of the Lions or something, and she's like, I can't wait to send Dylan that text message again.
She said, "Bear down."
Yeah,
this was my response.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, she's looking forward to that. But I think this is going to be a great game. Rams are awesome. Yep. I think Lions are really fun to watch. Speaking of the Lions, I have a question. Do you think, because Jahmyr Gibbs, he, from Dalton, tackled me, and we've been over the story a lot of times.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs now he has the most touchdowns before the age of 24, passing Barry Sanders, passing Randy Moss.
I think he's got the highest yards per carry of any running back over 500 carries too.
My question to Dylan is he a Hall of Famer based off just that stat alone? If he were to retire tomorrow, is he a Hall of Famer for having the most touchdowns before the age of 24?
Well, the Lions are
Barry
notorious
Sanders,
for
Randy
retiring
Moss,
running backs
everything.
Retiring players early in general.
Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders, Megatron.
If he were to retire at the end of this season, based off that stat alone and that record, is he in the Hall of Fame?
Ooh.
Not yet.
I don't think so yet.
I think he is.
No way.
I think because he doesn't have personal accolades. Like, he doesn't have any awards. I think he's got Pro Bowlers. He wasn't first team All-Pro last year. He couldn't have been.
Obviously, he's not going to retire.
He could be this year.
He needs some All-Pros. He will be, I think, the NFC. He'll be a Pro Bowler. I know first team All-Pros both conferences. Jonathan Taylor or Gibbs. I'm probably giving it to Gibbs just because he's been more.
Especially now, because I think the Colts are going to drop off these last 4 games.
Yeah,
everyone will have recency bias, and
he needs some more accolades. And so, yeah,
that's fair.
I think like an offensive player of the year and stuff like that.
I thought it was a fair question.
To make the Hall of Fame.
It's a good question.
You passed Randy Moss.
I think everybody, if you ever have the opportunity to see a kid play in high school that goes on to have a career in the NFL, a big career, you really, if you can look back and be non-biased, you realize
it makes you feel like shit.
Like, you just realize how fucking good those guys really were in high school. And
also, like, we can point at Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Jahmyr Gibbs. When those guys were on the field against high schoolers, it literally felt like NFL players playing against,
especially Justin Fields.
Yeah, it just did.
Trevor Lawrence looked like Tom Brady on the field.
You can see that, and that's the crazy part is you can just, it's just like,
you can tell.
You can tell. You can tell who's going to be very good and who it's. But yes, Jahmyr Gibbs. I thought it was a fair question to be
he's getting close.
You're in.
I think he does a couple more seasons like this, especially as a running back. He's in.
You've passed some really, really good players on a list like that. It's pretty remarkable.
This is true.
Last game before our Pick Ems, we only have 3.
I need to lose.
Packers at the Broncos.
So you know the Bears can go back up to the 1 seed this week again. They went from the 1 seed and now they lost 1 game and now they're the 7 seed as a 9-win team. Imagine that. But yeah, if the Packers lose again, if the Lions beat the Rams, ironically, and the Seahawks, I think, and the Niners both have to lose as well, the Bears are back up to the 1 seed. It's just, the NFC has been insane this year, but this is going to be a good game. And Broncos defense, I need them to win. I need the Broncos to win so bad. I really hope they do.
And I kind of need the Broncos to lose so the Patriots can squeak back into that 1 seed. So, but no, look, I think, the Packers, it does, with the Broncos pass rush, we're really going to see if that could be the common denominator to beating them and to getting Jordan Love off of his spot and off of, the run game and really having to put it on his shoulders. So yeah, it will be. This is a great game. It really is, for a lot of implications for your team, for my team, to even see what the Broncos are if they end up winning this game, of how do they win? Because at this point in the season, it's how are teams winning? At the beginning of the year, it's, okay, just get wins any way we can while we're figuring this out. And even I look at the Eagles last night. I know we kind of talked about them. They have no identity. They're just hoping to God that they and I know they lost, but they should have, I think, won last night, even with all the turnovers and all everything, with the 7 sacks,
so many opportunities.
So to me, I look at it and what is the true identity of this Broncos team? Because if your identity is, we play slow through 3 quarters and then pick it up in the 4th quarter because our defense keeps us in, good luck doing that in the playoffs. So even for the Packers to really see, what they are when when they maybe can't run the ball as effectively as they can, or they have 4 or 5 sacks against Jordan Love. Okay. So that's how I'm managing teams at this point in the season, especially playoff teams. Of what type of team are they, and how are they winning games? Are they just hoping to God they win them and are there at the end of the game and squeak out a win, kind of like Josh Allen, like having to be Superman? Or how are you doing it? So to all the playoff teams, to the Bears, to the Jaguars, to the Colts, to the Broncos, to the Lions, like how are these teams, and is it sustainable?
Words sustainable.
words are challenging to winning playoff games against. I mean, especially in the NFC. I've been saying it for weeks that there's going to be a couple great teams left out of the playoffs in the NFC.
I really hope it's not the Bears, man.
I do too, for your sake, and just because I think the Bears are a fun team to watch when it comes to just everything they've been this year.
I love their offense.
The weekly Pick Ems, though, we got 3 games this week. No college games. The Falcons and the Buccaneers, Thursday Night Football. Hey, look, last time
how are we not picking the college games?
Time
we got to pick Montana over.
Last time the Falcons and the Buccaneers were on Thursday night. Mr. Kirk O'Chains threw for 500 yards.
We were there.
OT victory. We were there. It's too bad it's not at Atlanta. If it was in Atlanta,
it'd be fun to go again.
We should have gone. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers though. Unfortunately, the Falcons
are just falconing right now.
Really bad. Their special teams is absolutely
Falcons
terrible.
are finding a way.
But you know
what's ironic? The only thing that's working for the Falcons right now is their pass rush.
That's it. The one thing.
The one thing they never had.
They finally got it.
It's like they did a deal with the devil. They're like, give us pass rush, but take everything else away.
The exact opposite of what
100%
was wrong
agree.
Last year.
100% agree with you on that. I'm taking the Buccaneers though.
Or Falcons.
The Falcons are bad.
Tampa will.
Tampa sputtered too last week.
They did. I think
bad loss.
Getting Bucky Irving back though will help, and it has helped.
Mike Evans. So they might have Mike Evans back this week.
Yeah, how many yards does he need to hit 1,000?
He's not getting.
He needs like 200 a game.
Like 700.
He needs to get like 200 a game.
Don't count him out. Baker's gonna feed.
Baker's gonna feed him the ball. You watch. He's going 200 on Thursday night.
No, I got the Bucks. The Falcons they're gonna clean house at the end of the year, so I have no faith.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah,
Vikings, Cowboys, Sunday night. I don't get this game, especially now. The Vikings, JJ McCarthy.
This game should have been flexed.
It should have.
They're not, because Dallas. America's team.
I will say, though, the Eagles losing helps me a lot in fantasy because I know the playoffs got settled. Everyone's, making the playoffs for fantasy and all that's. So in our keeper league, I'm first seed. But the problem is, and I've been a huge Dallas fan this year because I need them to keep all their players in and still be playing for something when playoffs come around. I have Dak, George Pickens, and Jake Ferguson on on the best team I have. So I'm really, really hoping, and it helped that the Eagles lost.
It did.
Cowboys need to win this so I can have all my guys still playing when it comes to when I need them most because they've been very good at carrying my team, especially George Pickens.
I need Tyler Warren to play quarterback this week. That's what I need. I need 2 quarterbacks in my roster.
But for that reason, because I'm a huge Cow, and I don't think the Vikings are very good with JJ McCarthy. I know he had a decent game. I will be picking the Cowboys. I need them to win for my fantasy hopes of winning our keeper league.
I say the Cowboys probably win this. I think they have to. They absolutely have to, and the Vikings season is over. I mean, they are playing for pride at this point, and JJ looked decent. He looked good against a bad Commanders defense, and Dallas's defense hasn't been great, but it's going to be a lot on his shoulders because the Cowboys' run defense is a lot better. And I just think the Cowboys they're still a really good offense. Vikings have a good defense, but Cowboys will probably win by at least 10 points, I think.
I hope so. Come on, Dak. George Pickens, all of them.
Yeah, except Cavante Turpin is going to have all their yards.
Yeah.
You have a bye week this week anyway, so you don't need them.
CeeDee Lamb kind of pulled a Tua too.
He did.
He got a concussion. He kind of hit the Tua fingers.
Me and Cullen have him in a team league.
Little scary situation on that.
That was not good.
No, not good. Last game, Dolphins and the Steelers on Monday night.
Oh, Flynn. Flynn. Here we go.
Look, I'm going to go out on a limb. Maybe not so much of a limb because I think the Dolphins have been playing pretty good and the Steelers are going to steal her. I'm going to say the Dolphins win this. At this point, who cares?
That's funny.
I don't think the Steelers are very consistent. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Well, hold on. If Achane plays, because I know he kind of got hurt.
Oh, no. He could have come back in.
That's what they said?
Yes, he could have come back in. They just kept him out because they were killing the Jets. Mm-hmm. So he will be playing.
Okay, so I'll take the Dolphins.
I'm taking the Steelers in a very cold night in Pittsburgh. Probably
smart,
windy
but
too.
Okay.
But yeah.
You know what though? Listen,
TJ Watt might just kill Tua.
So listen, here's the thing though. I think the Dolphins, and this is crazy for me to even say it, I think the Dolphins have figured out the formula that works for them, which is
Running the
leaning
ball.
on their ground game, right?
Running.
They're relying on their defense, and they're
Which
making it
sounds
happen.
crazy.
And the Steelers
right?
are just hot and cold. They were a little hot. Now they're just destined to be cold in this one. So I'm going to go with my Dolphins.
I'll go with the Dolphins.
Give me the Steelers.
Why not?
I can't believe I'm in the minority here.
To go on to our bets of the week. So look, I didn't want to have a cop out and pick one for this Tampa Bay game. So
I just took a cop out.
I don't have one. Mine will be on our graphic that we post on Instagram. The closer, because we are filming a little bit earlier this week, so a lot of the players are not. I did not want to have a cop out and feel like I was forced to pick a Falcons or Buccaneers because those are some of the only players posted. So my my bet of the week, player prop of the week, will be on our Instagram graphic that we do. So if you are interested in that, mine will be on that. I know Dylan has one here, so I'll let him say his, and then we'll also go to our cut bet of the week after that.
Jamar Chase is playing his favorite team again this week in the Ravens, and I don't believe he scored last time.
He did not, but he had over 100 yards.
He did, and I think he has both this time. I think the Ravens are probably going to lose this game. Bengals are pissed. Jamar Chase, he's always good for a touchdown against the Ravens, or most of the time. Give me Jamar. And then on to our cut bet of the week. Before, make sure you guys use code i75Live at signup. But we are going to be taking probably the most interesting game of the week, just because of all the implications between the Rams and the Lions. Over 55 points. I do think they reach that. It's going to be a shootout. I think both teams have good defenses, but both teams are actually, Rams have a better D line, but they're a little battered. And I do think, score wise,
I can see
because I do think the Rams will win. It's in SoFi. It'll probably be like a 35-31 game, something like that.
Well, both these
teams
really hit home run plays like no one's business.
Yeah.
So you can expect some of that on both sides. Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is going to be a really fun game to watch offensively.
It is.
And it could also be, it could be a playoff matchup depending on how it goes as well.
Oh, it very well could be.
If it all goes out.
Definitely.
Well, that will wrap up today's episode. Again, thank you for all the comments we got. We read them all. Some are funny. Some gotta do better.
Unoriginal.
Just do better. Like if you're gonna
do better,
you're gonna make fun of us. Like make fun of us.
Make me laugh.
Don't just say, "Oh, he's wearing a Patriot sweater." Of course he says that. Like, yeah. How long did it take you to come up with that one?
He used his context clues.
Yeah.
He listened for 3 seconds, saw the first thing in front of him, and that was his comment.
Yeah. So do better. We appreciate all of it, and we've had some good conversations too as well of talking about the playoffs and talking about Texas and who should have got in, and that was we love having conversations. But if you're gonna make fun of us, like make fun of us. Do it. Don't just It's just such a cop out, and and everyone commented the same thing. Like, come on, do better.
Yeah.
Do better.
Lame.
I know you make fun of your friends at home. Like,
lame.
Do better. But no, yes, we appreciate it. Thank you. Follow for the long content on YouTube, all our short stuff, TikTok, Instagram, and everything in between, whether that's stuff that happens, get our opinions on trades, injuries, all that stuff. But yes, we will see you guys next week. Enjoy NFL Week 15. Right. With no college football on this week, too.
It's only NFL. Yeah. It's been real, guys.